And we gather on Sundays because we know the power of building belonging in community. So I'm going to invite you to just take a breath with me. Yeah. Settling in from the beginning of our days. And maybe you've been hustling to get here, or maybe you got here slowly. Just feel your body on the chair if it's comfortable for you, recognizing that we're not always comfortable in our bodies, but as comfortable as you can be as we center in for our time of worship and community. The song that we're going to sing, our gathering song, is called Gathered Here. It's number 389 in your gray hymnal if you need the music. But this is a short song, so we're going to sing it about 3 times. And I just invite you to sing it as an invitation. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. We invite Spirit to draw near. Now, I do think that Spirit is always near. So when we sing a song like this, it's almost like, let me remember that Spirit is near, inviting our awareness of the Spirit of love and the Spirit of life. So I invite you to sing with me. Spirit is with us. I welcome you. I'm the Reverend Dr. Beth Johnson. My pronouns are she, they, and it is good to be together. Introduce you to Paula, our worship associate.
Good morning. Welcome to this place of peace, justice, and hope. In this Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm no matter who you are, who you love, or where you are on your journey, you are welcome here. For those of you joining us online, we are so glad you're with us for this service. Is this an all-community service, or are the children leaving? Nope. Okay. If you are visiting with us today, we invite you to sign our visitor's book. The visitor's book is located in the living room in the back of the sanctuary. Darren is one of our lovely greeters today. Also, members and friends, to help folks connect, remember to wear your name tags with your pronoun stickers. If you need a new name tag, you can request that in the living room. I am Paula Sijit Dvorak. My pronouns are she and her. I'm pleased to be with you as the worship associate today. Our music today will be provided by Carolyn May. We recognize that individuals of all ages and abilities have different needs during the service. In the living room at the back of the sanctuary, we provide a cart of fidgets and drawing supplies. If at any point you feel the need for movement, please feel free to get up and grab a fidget, engage in drawing. May you each know that you are welcome in this house of peace, and may our worship and fellowship this morning touch your heart, mind, and spirit.
We begin our services by acknowledging that we here in the western suburbs, and indeed throughout this country, are on indigenous lands, the lands of many peoples. here in Illinois and in the western suburbs. We do this acknowledgement not to be performative, but to be transformative, to transform our understandings of our relationship with the rest of nature, with our indigenous siblings, and with the work that we're called to do for justice for all. This is one of my favorite services all year long because we get to introduce the folks who will be receiving our plate share this month. Each month we have an organization that we share our plate with. Any donation that you make today, if you don't write your pledge, it's going to be considered as part of our donation to Austin Scholars, and you're going to hear about them in a minute. And also, if you feel like you want to donate more through the rest of the month, you can go do that on our website through the donate button. But right now, I'm going to bring up our friends. Here you go, Charlie.
Okay, good morning. Nice to see everybody again. I'm Charlie Gunn, and with Roberta. Roberta, I'm going to get you up. Come on. While she's getting up, this is my wife, Lynn. Lynn is a graduate of Hinsdale Central and grew up in Clarendon Hills, so she's always glad to come along, too. This is our 4th year coming, so thank you so much for welcoming us 4 years in a row. We are from 3rd Unitarian, which is your sister church in the Austin community in Chicago. And like I say, we got to try harder because we're 3rd, but we're doing well. And Reverend Vahe sends her love and greetings. She was an intern, seminarian here, so she says hello as well. But we're here for the Austin Scholars. We're now in our second 50 years. Last year I said 50. We're 51, and Roberta's been with it all along since 74. She's one of the co-founders. Got to get you up, Roberta. She's the reason for the season for the Scholars. She's been that common thread through all those years. She's been to all the high schools in the area. In Austin, we're down to 3, but we have other schools nearby. But we certainly honor those 3: Douglas, Austin, and Michelle Clark. But we extend it to any student that lives in the Austin community, but then may have found other choices. This year, we actually got 2 Chicago Public School charter schools to have. We got 23 scholars this year. That was, I think, our record. So we always try to get at least 20, and we always have plenty of applications for that. But our role is college, and of course, I took it for granted. Lynn took it for granted. Roberta, no, she didn't take it for granted. She even went back and got her GED, and so. But I want you to see Roberta's beautiful face, and stand up. We'll get you up, Roberta. Come on, I'll help you. Yeah. Roberta's 98 years young, and we thank you for your care about her. She gets up every day and keeps doing what dances are your favorite?
Twist, the frog, and the hop, and doing the jitterbug. Let's get down.
She gets up, rises, and shines every day. And she was sharing in the car that her dad was served in World War I. So she's just got a lot of history from Thompson, Georgia, one of 9 siblings. And so, Roberta, I'm gonna hand you the mic, and you just shine your light.
First of all, I want to thank you all for inviting us from 3rd Unitarian Church. And I'm one of the 9 children who was always, tell the lie, and they always steal food for me, and put it under the house in Thompson, Georgia. But when there's a lot of children, there's one of them that's going to go lacking, and I was the one who went to lacking. But all at the same time, they took care of me. But first I want to say, in Chicago, I love Chicago. I love Third Unitarian Church, and I love Hinsdale Church. But I want to say thank you all for inviting us here and supporting our scholarship. I didn't have the opportunity that the kids have today, and if I can help somebody on the wayside, my life will not be in vain. And I want to thank you all for supporting us anytime. Thank you.
And Roberta lives right in Austin. Lynn and I, of course, live in Chicago as well, but we visit from the UIC neighborhood. I've been a CPS teacher for 36 years, but elementary level. But seeing the students go through to senior year and then have those big dreams of going to college, which of course in many cases means going away from home, and 90% of the time being the first generation. But just briefly, we do try to go for three semesters. We were at 2, and now we've been able to extend it to 3 to take them into their sophomore year, which the statistics show that if you can get into that sophomore year and be settled, that you have a very good chance of continuing through and getting that degree. And we do honor associate's degrees as well in our community college, our city colleges of Chicago. And then we also, of course, hope for the bachelor's degree. And in some cases, they'll transfer. You know, they'll go from the associate's degree at the city colleges over to a four-year school. But besides the money, which is $500 each semester, and they have to check in each semester with us, so that, because it's a two-way street, we want to know how they're doing, and we really take time during those interactions to see how they're feeling, you know, what's going on, because it does take some courage, you know, to go off and be that role model and go for that college, and to remind students that 4 years may be a long time, but a career of 40 years is what a beautiful, you know, investment in yourself. So we have a lot of phrases and memorances that we give to them to keep them strong and to believe in themselves, because it really is important. And then, as Roberta always says, we want them to come back and be with us in the future. We have a holiday social every December. We do a Valentine's e-card and e-gift in February, and then in the summer we do a block party in the Austin community. So I will be here, of course, with Roberta and with Lynn afterwards. Oh, Lynn's given me my my AV, my audiovisual. This is the community newspaper, the Austin Voice, and they always do a wonderful job of featuring our Scholars Sunday, and so this was no exception. And so we'll have that afterwards, and we have some of our brochures as well. But I do want to thank Charlie Fisher for always inviting us, the Holbert families. I know Tiffany was okay, and then of course Reverend Beth. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Always good to see you, Lynn and Roberta.
Thank you.
You are such an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't have the opportunity that the kids had, so now I'm giving to whatever I got.
Yeah, well, you're given to them and you're given to us.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. And your number may be third, but you're not last. Third Unitarian is a beautiful community in the Austin area. If you ever get a chance to visit it, you know, well, I guess if you did that, it would be Sunday. Well, but that's okay. You could go and visit on a Sunday and then come back and tell us about the experience. So thank you. Thank you so much. Later on, during our offering is when you'll be able to make that contribution. And so as we think about Austin Scholars and the work that they do, as we think about the moment that we're in our country, in our world, as we thought about how to imagine building belonging as a community, and what came to me this week thinking about the service, I had different opening hymns, but you know what? I have to tell you, Roberta, hearing about your dance, I wish we were doing when the Spirit says do, but we'll do it next time. And we'll dance in your honor the next time. 98. All right, then we'll do it. But our opening song is Wake Now My Senses, which is really an invitation to compassion, to justice, to possibilities. So I invite you to rise and body your spirit. It's number 298 in your gray hymnal. Much. That's an old Irish tune. The Irish always remind me of the wonderful resistance, but also the words are really about the shared ministry that we have. Come into this place of peace and possibility. Come with your questions, your hopes, your yearning. Here we gather not to escape the world, but to remember our belonging to it, rooted like trees in shared soil, reaching out, connecting to each other. It is good to be together. Last week, as we considered building belonging, we did an embodiment chalice lighting. So we're going to do that again so that we kind of get it in our bodies, and Pam is going to come up and lead us. Do you want the kids to come up, or are they going to? Yeah, sure. You want to come up, and then Paula and I are going to come down with Swamini, who's our intern, and we're going to go ahead and do the motions with you. So are you ready? You're going to lead us? Here, I'm going to give this to you. Because it's got the words.
Oh. So I have to do the movements, read the words, and flip the thing. She has lots of confidence in me. All right. Yes. So if you would like to stand up, you can. You don't have to, but we invite you to participate. Okay. I'm going to read it, and then you are going to repeat. We are Unitarian Universalists. We are Unitarian Universalists. We put love at the center of our lives. We put love at the center of our lives. As we light the chalice today, May the flames remind us the voice of our faith calls us. Seek truth and nourishment from wherever we find it.
And I think,
Am I also next?
yes, you're next.
I have to get.
Okay. Pam's going to do our time for all ages, and if the kids want to come up, and you can do that with her, and I can, we can stand and do this as we do our tree meditation. You can stand or you can sit.
When Reverend Beth said that she was going to do the service on trees, I was like, oh great, I have this great tree meditation. So I invite you to be a tree. You can stand up and be a tree. You could sit down and be a tree. However the Spirit moves you. Find a comfortable position, letting your back be straight but relaxed. Close your eyes or leave them open. Take a few deep, slow breaths, allowing your body to become a tree. Now, feel your feet and legs becoming roots, growing deep into the earth, drawing up strength, nourishment, and stability. Your torso and the body are the trunk, strong, upright, and majestic. Your arms are the branches, reaching out and upwards towards the sky, towards the light. Your head is the crown of the tree, open to the sky, to the sun, and to the clouds. Take a moment to simply be the tree. Feel the strength of your roots anchoring you, the stability of your trunk, and the flexibility of your branches. Allow the weather, both gentle breezes and strong winds, to move around and through you. Know that you are resilient. Breathe into your tree body, noticing how the air nourishes your leaves, how the earth sustains your roots. Now, begin to expand your awareness beyond your own tree. Look around you. In your mind's eye, see the other trees. These are your community. They are also rooted deeply just as you are, but their roots are interconnected. Notice how they stand strong, yet also flexible. They provide shade, offer shelter, and provide. I didn't think I could do both, reach both. Notice how they stand strong and flexible. They provide shade and offer shelter and contribute to the well-being of the whole forest. Feel the collective energy of this forest, the interconnectedness of all trees. From this shared space, you are deeply rooted in the living earth, supported by the forest of this community. As we prepare to close this meditation, have your tree take a final breath, carrying the strength, rootedness, and connection of the tree and the forest with you. Become aware again of your physical body and the space around you. Slowly put down your branches, open your eyes, and welcome back to the community of human love.
Thank you so much. I invite you to sing our children out to their classes. You're up.
There's always a lot going on around the church, and you can read all about it in News and Notes, which arrives in your inbox every Friday, and there are printed copies available. If you would like to receive News and Notes, stop by the welcome table in the living room, just at the back of the sanctuary. We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and hard work. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we give in love and hope as we share our plate with Austin scholars. Please join in our offertory words. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with all the world.
So much, Carolyn. It's so beautiful to hear you play. Thank you. Liturgy of Leaf and Light by Kate Lohr. I came in from the hush of fir, from cedars incense, from hemlocks holding mist like old monks holding prayer. I knew their shadows, the way they sighed in rain, the quiet holiness of green upon green. I did not want to leave them. But here in this wider light, where the sky opens farther and the air hums dry with longing, I find a new cathedral rising in me. Black cottonwoods, their leaves like small hands, applauding the wind, and Oregon white oaks, broad-backed, resolute, who stood through fire and flood and did not flinch. These trees do not whisper, they chant. They shine with the memory of suns long set. Their rustling is a language carried from ancestor to seed, too sacred for sorrow, too ancient for shame. I did not know their stories yet, only that I am a part of them now. That every leaf falling at my feet is both benediction and beginning. There is wisdom in letting go of what rooted me before, not to forget, but to grow. So I stand here between memory and becoming, a pilgrim among giants, learning the liturgy of cottonwood and oak. The poet here reminds us of our deep belonging, not only to trees, but to one another. That we too, as our meditation, are both rooted and growing. That we too are also ancient. And we come with the need to let go. We come with the desire for more. We come with joys and with sorrows. We invite the Spirit of life and love to be with us as we consider those joys and sorrows that we bring with us today. Mark our events that have shaped your life. And invite you to sing with me, Spirit of life. And as we do that, think about what it is that you brought with you today. What it is that is holding you close, what needs to be set free. And invite the Spirit of life into this place, into us this morning. Please sing with me. We're going to skip the reading. Invitation, beloved, I invite you, if you have a joy or a sorrow this morning, you can come forward and drop a pebble. Each one is unique, signifying the uniqueness that you each are. You can drop a pebble in silence. Invite you to just be centered in what it is that you bring with you today, and invite you to come forward if you have a joy or sorrow.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm so glad that we have Austin scholars here today because last night I attended my 50th high school reunion. And thinking of the advantage that that school gave me, I'm so glad you're here today.
Thanks for reminding me.
Hi, I'm Mary. My sorrow is that I've been looking for work for 3.5 months now as my position was eliminated. So any good thoughts thoughts would be very appreciated. My joy is I recently rescued a black cat, and his name is Dashiell, and he's already destroying one of my chairs, but other than that, it's great. Thank you.
So much. Okay, your pulse. Yeah, it's like a baptism.
Thursday night, I was on a Zoom call for my Great Decisions group, and I kept getting calls. Well, she's on her way to Northwestern. Well, she's in labor. And that was 9/11, and I thought, 9/11 birthday, oh my goodness. Well, Paul and I are now the great-grandparents of our second great-grandchild. And it's a she, 7 pounds, 3 ounces, born on Friday, 9/12, and her name is Sawyer.
Oh, don't forget your bubble.
Hi, I'm Kathy. My dad's sister, Janie Rector, who lives in Texas, just celebrated her 90th birthday, surrounded by 37 close family members. She couldn't have the extended family come, but her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were there. So I'm just blessed that we have longevity in my family.
Yes, we're happy about that too. We hold in our hearts those joys and sorrows, those spoken and unspoken. And we acknowledge the sorrows and the joys and the celebrations of births, the worries, the possibilities, and hold it all in community as it's held in this bowl. We also know that we exist not only for ourselves in this community, but we exist in a wider network of mutuality, as Dr. King reminded us. And so we hold in our hearts all of our neighbors in near Downers Grove, Franklin Park, all of the neighbors in our communities in Chicagoland who are right now living in fear. I acknowledge those who are bearing witness and bringing their bodies to the places where our neighbors know that they are not alone. We acknowledge the suffering in our world. We acknowledge the suffering that's been caused by proponents of free speech and then that demise. We acknowledge the suffering that is going on in our world, where there are genocides, including the genocide in Gaza, where more and more people are displaced and killed each year, each day. Beloveds, I invite you to hold a moment of silent reflection with me. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, these stones represent not only our joys and our sorrows, but our commitment to one another as a community, to build belonging within our walls, but also to build belonging in our wider community, and to understand ourselves connected each to each, near and far. As we move from this space and this time of joys and sorrows, beloved, know this: you are always and everywhere held in love and mystery deeper than you can know. What do you think this service is about? Trees. It's like trees. Didn't want to torture the metaphor, but there were so many beautiful pieces, and the meditation that Pam did is basically the sermon. It's basically reminding us of our deep interconnectedness, and that building belonging is not just about one-on-one conversation with people who are close to us, but it's about the deep roots that we share. And the metaphor of trees came to me as I was thinking about building belonging, because this summer, on my study leave, I read a book by Leanda Lynn Haupt. It's called Rooted: Life at the Crossroads of Science, Nature, and Spirit. She writes, "We are part of the living earth, not literally, not metaphorically, but literally." One reviewer said of the book, "There's a quiet truth that lives in the woods, beneath the soil, in bird song, in the silence between our thoughts. This is a graceful invitation to rediscover the truth, not by retreating from the world, but by returning to it and to our place within it." And this book is not just about facts, it's about feeling, it's about remembering, and it's about deep belonging. As we recognize the pains that we lifted up just now, and we recognize the joys that we share, the longings that we share. We recognize that our roots go deep and wide. Haupt speaks of a wild spiritual ecology, a sense of being embedded in the living world. She doesn't preach as an abstract cause, this environmental awareness. She frames it as relationship, and we know that to be rooted means to belong to everything, to one another. I mentioned our immigrant siblings, our siblings besieged by genocide and war, our trans siblings who are living in fear, all those who suffer. We are deeply interconnected and implicated. What this building belonging, this metaphor for building belonging allows us to do is to have a slow attention. We're called, I can't tell you how many times, day after day, that I speak to folks who are inundated with images and news and fears. So it seems almost counterintuitive to say, slow down. That's why we offered the meditation today. To slow down. It's okay to slow down. We're driven by speed and distraction, but when we listen, whether it's the call of a crow, the texture of moss, the rhythm of footsteps on forest paths, our own green sanctuary, Dave Lloyd takes us on walks in the rest of nature. It's how we fall in love with earth, but it's also how we understand the beauty and the joy and our connectedness with all that is. It's a reminder that we also have an inner wilderness, that it's not just out there, but it's within us. It's our instincts, it's our intuition, it's our longing for connection. Haupt invites us to rewild our spirits, to embrace a more instinctive, soulful way of living that honors mystery and meaning, and I believe is fuel for the journey. It also acknowledges both grief and gratitude, as we do in our joys and sorrows. The grief of what's happening to our world, our neighbors, even the things that are happening in our lives, but it also brings us to a place of deep gratitude. Those things are not mutually exclusive. I think without gratitude for simple things and for this vast universe, for you, for my black cat, for all the ways that we experience the sense of, there is still beauty in this world. When we consider this imagination, it invites us to invite and imagine possibilities. As I gave the sermon summary and the order of service, and Nancy Kranz, who's our fabulous news and notes creator, our graphic designer, spontaneously gave me this note about trees. I have her permission to share. About trees, my little patio is beneath a huge black walnut tree. Each year, something different comes down off it. Twigs, of course, sometimes whippy sticks and walnuts. Some years a lot, some years few walnuts, and always squirrels running up and down the trunk. Their teeth can bite through an outer green layer, which I couldn't get a knife to cut through to get the nut, then leave detritus all over the yard. Right now, I'm trying to keep them away from the sunflowers that Dennis brought for us. My patio under this walnut tree has gotten so shady now that all summer I keep rolling the pots around seeking sunshine. But my normally huge geraniums were puny. Next year, it'll be more impatiens and coleus, but I don't mind because I adore this tree and everything it provides. Nancy here is giving us an example of holding it all. The beautiful, fun squirrel, and also the annoyance of leaving a mess. The things were small, but then there's new things to plant. That was a beautiful essay, Nancy. And it reminded me of the truths I think that we're sharing of building belonging. That we belong, no matter what. And our Unitarian Universalist faith encourages us to draw from many sources. My stole today is some of the sources that I draw from. It's my ordination stole. And inside are words of inspiration, and outside are vines that were stitched in banners in my internship church. And as I prepared to come today, I thought of these are the sources that we draw from. There's an earth lovingly put together. So drawing from this earth, from this beauty, gives us the opportunity to see all of this not as metaphor, but as teacher, as sanctuary, and as a builder of belonging. Trees, as we heard, aren't solitary beings, and neither are we. We know that not only is it a nice idea that trees are communal, science tells us that they're communal, that their roots reach one another and they communicate with one another. And we know we need one another to flourish as well. Beneath the forest floor, trees communicate through mycorrhizal networks, and some call it the wood wide web, exchanging nutrients, sharing warnings, nurturing their young. In every way, trees are in relationship. And isn't that what we're called to be as a religious community? Isn't that how we build belonging, not just within these walls, but beyond? We understand the nature of deep connection. We're a forest of seekers, finders, rooted in shared principles, reaching for truth and justice, just like the branches reaching for the sun. We're reminded that as those nutrients are exchanged, that thriving comes not just from individual strength, but from care and cooperation. In her meditation, Pam mentioned how trees are resilient. They bend with the storms. Some shed leaves and enter dormancy. The rest are renewed in the cycles of life, and so are we too. We're anchored in community, and we also consider the strength in diversity. And a tree trunk isn't strong because it's uniform, but because it's layered. Each ring tells a story of drought, of abundance, of survival, And so it is with community. Our strength lies in our layers, theologies that vary, cultures that intersect, life experiences that challenge and bless us. In Unitarian Universalism, we say, we not think alike to love alike. And that is actually stitched on my ordination stole from my internship committee. Belonging, beloved, does not require sameness. It requires spaciousness. We make room for our many stories. We become a cooperative community. Jane Hirschfield, the Buddhist author and practitioner, wrote, "More and more I have come to admire resilience, not the simple resilience of a pillow whose foam returns over and over to the same shape, but the sinuous tenacity of a tree finding the newly blocked light on one side, it turns in another. A blind intelligence, perhaps, but out of such persistence rose turtles and rivers and figs, all this resinous, unretractable earth." And so it is with us. Whatever it is that we hold and face and encounter, we are invited into resilience, and that resilience shapes us. Not like perhaps that foamed pillow that bounces back into shape, because we know that we're changed. We're different. We're challenged. And we also embody a new possibility. That piece that I read by Hirschfield is called optimism. Everyone knows that I am not an optimist. Sorry to break it to you, I am not an optimist. Optimism for me is that kind of assurance that no matter what, everything will be just like it was. But I am hopeful. Hope for me means we don't know the future. And so we shape the future together. We build that belonging together and in turn shape the community, the one we're in and the one beyond us, as we've said. What trees teach us about justice and care. The song that we sang by Carolyn McDade is one of our beloved UU hymns. And it reminds us that roots hold us close, wings set us free, but we're giving the shape of justice with the work that we do, with the lives that we live, with the ways that we educate ourselves, that we understand our role in this world. So in a healthy forest, older trees send carbon and nutrients to saplings and struggling neighbors. I totally did not know that. That's what solidarity looks like. Root to root interactions. So what that means is I may have some energy. I may have the wherewithal in a moment to give, to show up, to witness, to resist, to use my body. Other people may not at that time. What others can do is to bring food, to send that nourishment, to allow ourselves to be cared for is a radical act in a world and in a culture that valorizes individualism, that separates us. We send nourishment and nutrients. Trees sometimes last hundreds of years because the surrounding trees kept them nourished. So, beloveds, this is an invitation to be like a tree. Remember the meditation that we did. Return to the meditation if that's something that's comfortable for you. Feel your roots and know that your roots reach out here and widely. Nourish one another, nurture yourself, build belonging. Know that we are resilient when we know we're connected. Know that in a world that is calling for destruction, full of division, trees don't survive without knowing instinctively that they're a community. So in a time of division, in a time of violence, we nurture ourselves and our community. As you walk or journey through your life in the next week or so, think about trees. Write an essay like Nancy did. Send a poem. Look and see how you're moving in this world. Where is your strength? Where are your roots? And where do you need your branches to go in this time? Be like trees, rooted in our shared values, diverse in our growth, being a shelter, reaching toward the light of justice and love. I invite us to build a forest of belonging, not perfect, but alive, not always orderly, but sacred. May we be reminded that even in silence, trees sing. In their company, we are never alone, and know that together we are more than we could ever be alone. I invite you into our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, the fire of our commitment. These we share with the whole world. So going from Earth, this blue boat home, and the intimacy and immediacy of trees, this is a reminder that we are all in this together. I invite you to rise, embody your spirit, and sing, of course. This is the UU Freebird Blue Boat Home. Go in peace, be makers of peace.